Recently, I was talking to a friend who is a businessman, and he said that every time he recruits executives, he has to invite the other party's wife or husband to dinner. I said, "You learn everything from the West, and you learn that too." He said he didn't learn it from anyone, but mainly because he thought it was really useful. You can pick up a lot of information by watching your partner and the way they interact. To put it bluntly, you can see a person's true character by the way he treats his partner. If a person treats his partner arrogantly and unreasonably, you can basically say that he is not cultivated enough. And if he is like that in public, it is even more unthinkable that he can get along with his partner in private. Such a person may be better in one aspect, may be able to go to today's position, but his pattern of gas decided that he will not have a particularly great development. Such a person may not be a bad person, can also be used, but will not be reused. But if this person treats other people in the meal, but attentive and humble, this kind of person absolutely do not need. This is not the cultivation quality problem. This is not the surface of the smiling tiger. Character has big problems. I said you eat a meal on the people to make a judgment is not too biased. He said a meal cannot completely judge a person, so his company often do staff family reunions. It turns out that the company's family reunions also have such a function. Everyone in the future don't just focus on eating, drinking, and having fun, and be careful of the eyes of HR and bosses staring at you behind your back. Back home, facing your partner is the moment of your true self. The soul is as real as the body. You think back to the drive home. By the time the car pulls into the neighborhood, you are already relaxed, and the sound of children's laughter in the yard has cleared most of the smoke from the negotiating table. When you open the door, put down your briefcase, took off your coat, and put on your housecoat. You felt like a soldier returning from the battlefield, slowly finding the smell of the earth. And finally, when you picked up the remote control, sat down on the sofa, and started to change channels unconsciously and haphazardly, you had already the most real self of Zhang Senlisi had completely changed back. This self has nothing to do with education, nothing to do with position, nothing to do with social prestige, nothing to do with income. Very often, the most closely related to this self is a small village in the distant boy with bare buttocks catching loaches, or the old days in the hutong in the sunshine grating little girl's hair. Why are you indifferent to your partner? Because you are not a passionate person. The passion on the stage is only to attract attention to achieve their own business purposes. In the circle of friends in the enthusiasm and activity, even if there is no monetary intentions, subconsciously is also to mold themselves into a person they worship. As for your partner, this fixed asset, which is in a sense sitting there, has neither the possibility of increasing in value nor the concern of losing it, and the extra investment may be a burden to you. Why do you hesitate to say "I love you"? Even if you know that saying this sentence can make the other person happy, it's because you're not a happy giver yourself. Giving makes someone happy. There are some things you can do to make the other person happy, and you have nothing to lose. But if the short-term rewards aren't there, you instinctively reject this altruistic behavior. You're righteous and generous at charity dinners, but so stingy with your partner. You're devoted to the warmth and comfort of your employees, but you don't care about your partner's needs. Right or wrong, it's a night of deep introspection about which is the real you. Some would say it is because there is no more love. However, love is not a necessary condition for treating others well, even if there is no love. In the face of a life partner who has made a contract, if what really exists in your heart is goodness, is for the sake of others, is afraid of harming others, you can regulate your own minimal words and deeds. Without the flowers and the music, you can still uplift and honor each other. Love, on the other hand, is not a panacea for getting along. Many couples with very tangled emotions do not have a good life either. Not because they do not love each other, but because they do not love their true selves and cannot handle the relationship between husband and wife. It is also said that home is the place where you get angry. If you don't get angry at home, where will you go to get angry? Why aren't we nice to those close to us? It's because we love them. This is the most shameless robber logic. Because I love you, I have the right to kill you. This is neither logical nor reasonable. At the same time, it is a sign of cowardice and incompetence, a poor excuse for not thinking. What is real is not necessarily good. Ebola is real, but it kills people. But what is real has the potential to become good. It's the same reason that in order to develop a vaccine against a virus, you first have to understand the structure of the virus. So there is a very good saying that the best place to practice is at home. We should not be ashamed of this true soul, because nobody in the world is perfect. What we should be ashamed of is the arrogance and inertia of not knowing how to change.